Let's delve into request and response objects. These are the core components of every Express.js route handler. We will focus on understanding what request, abbreviated as REQ, and response, abbreviated as RES, mean in Express.js. Here's a basic Express route handler example. First, we declare a constant variable named Express and assign it the result of calling the require function with the string Express as its argument. Then we declare a constant variable named app and assign it the result of calling the Express function. Now we use the app object and call the get method. The get method takes two arguments. The first one is a string with a /. The second argument is a function with two parameters, REQ and res. Inside the function body, we use the residential object and call the send method with the string hello world as its argument. Finally, we use the app object again and call the listen method with the number 3000 as its argument. This code sets up a basic route that responds with hello world. When a user visits the root URL, the server will listen on port 3000. Let's understand the request object, commonly known as REQ. The request object represents the HTTP request sent by the client to your Express server. It contains important information such as URL parameters, query strings, the request body, HTTP headers, and more. This object is crucial for extracting data from the incoming client request. Here's a list of common request properties. First, there is REQ params, which holds URL parameters. Then we have REQ query, which contains the query string. Next, there is REQ body, which contains the request body, usually containing data sent in a form. After that, we have REQ headers, which includes all the HTTP headers. We also have REQ method, which specifies the HTTP method used, such as get or post. Finally, there is REQ URL, which is the complete request URL. Here's an example of using request properties. We are calling the get method on the app object with two arguments. The first argument is the string /user/ID. The second argument is a function that takes two parameters, REQ and res. Inside the function body, we declare a constant variable named user_ID and assign it the value of our eq.params.id. Then we declare a constant variable named page and assign it the value of reqquery.page. After this, the code contains a comment saying // process request. Finally, we use the residential object and call the JSON method. The argument to the JSON method is an object that contains the user ID and page variables. This route extracts the user ID from the URL parameters and the page number from the query string, then sends them back as a JSON response. Now let's explore the response object, frequently referred to as res. The response object represents the HTTP response that Express sends back to the client. It is used for sending data, setting HTTP status codes and headers, and generally controlling the response that your server provides. Here are some common response methods. First, we have res.send, which is used to send a response to the client. Next is res.json, which sends a JSON response. Then there is res.status, which allows you to set the HTTP status code. There's also res.redirect, which redirects the request to a different URL. Additionally, we have res.render, which is used to render a template. Finally, there is res.cookie, which sets cookies on the client's browser. Here's an example of how to use response methods. We are calling the post method on the app object with two arguments. The first argument is the string /API/users. The second argument is a function that takes two parameters, REQ and res. Inside the function body, we declare a constant variable named user and assign it the value of REQ body. After this, the code contains a comment saying // create user logic. Finally, we use the residential object, call the status method with 201 as its argument, and then call the JSON method. The argument to the JSON method is an object that contains the message user created and the new user object. This route handles a POST request to create a new user, sets the status code to 201, which means created, and sends a JSON response indicating success. If you like this video, hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe. Visit CodeLucky.com for more such useful content.